few months ago, we came here to this Merida shop in Tianjin, China, to find out a bit more about how Chinese bike shops are different to their counterparts in Europe and around the world. Today we came back here to talk to Shang and find out a bit more about if he has anything new in stock for us. So come along with us and let's take a look. 下午好，你感觉怎么样？
今天非常热，
热。
今天受不了的温度。
Alright, so this is Shang. We've done a video with him before, so if you haven't seen that, you can go and check it out. Today we're going to talk about wheels and other componentry and find out a bit more about maybe some companies that you haven't heard of before. So let's take a look. Okay, to start with, we're going to take a look at wheels, and Shang's bought us 4 sets of wheels. We're going to take a look at them, learn about the prices, the companies themselves, and the quality of the wheels. So let's take a look. Okay, so the first set of wheels are these Hyper Lun wheels. Let's take a look at them and find out a bit more. So to begin with, we have this Hyper Lun wheel. It's made by the company Winspace, which I'm pretty sure that everybody knows about by now. This is their 45mm deep wheel. 这个多少钱啊？
这个它现在的市场官价是7800块。
7800, so 7,800 RMB, which is quite expensive for a Chinese wheel. It has a carbon spoke. 多重
？1200克左右，一对儿，而且是带上真空气嘴。
Okay, so 1,200 grams, so pretty light, and actually in comparison to European wheels, not too expensive. 还有在中国这个是它有大的名字吗？
有，它叫无极轮组。然后它在中国排名相对靠前，它是应该是前3的品牌。
Okay, so this has got a really big name in China too. Of course, it's got a pretty big name around Europe as well, so really good wheel. So the next set of wheels are these Mach wheels. Let's find out a bit more about them. So now we're going to take a look at the Mach wheels, and Shang has told me that they are an OEM for another very big name brand, so very reliable wheels. Super strong. He said they can be used for mountain bikes as well. So Shang, 这个轮子是多克？
这个轮子会比较重一点，因为它硬度会很高。
对。
然后它的重量应该是在1440多克左右。
It's about 1,440 grams, but that's because they're made to be robust and to be able to hold a beating. 和它多少钱？
它是整个风度里面最便宜的轮组。3500。
3,500 RMB for a wheel. That comes from a company which is an OEM for a very big name brand. Of course, we can't tell you the name of the brand, but from reliable sources, a very big name. 好，谢谢。Okay, so the next set of wheels is the Superteam wheels. Let's learn a bit more about them. So the next set of wheels we're going to take a look at are these Superteam wheels, and Shang is telling us that all of these wheels are UCI legal, and you can go onto their website and check that out. These ones come with carbon spokes and a ceramic bearing. Shang, 这个轮子是多重？
这个轮子是1395，正负30克。
Okay, so 1,395 grams, and they cost 4,099 RMB. So that's something. Let's move on to the next wheel. Okay, so the last set of wheels are these Helux wheels. They're made by Alvas. So let's take a look at them. So these wheels that we're taking a look at right now are the Helux wheels. They're made by Alvas, and I really like this kind of bare carbon finish. They're also UCI legal. Let's find out a little bit more about them. 这个轮子是多少钱的？1899人民币。 OK，多重？
这个轮子应该是1500克，相当于重。
1,500 grams and 1,900 RMB. 1,900人民币。
对。
My God. So a UCI approved wheel, carbon, that costs 1,900 RMB, which is about 180 pounds. So yeah, let's move on. So now we're going to take a look at some helmets. We're going to look at two major brands, DYN and Sunrmoon. Both of the helmets have MIPS. Let's find out a bit more. To begin with, we're going to take a look at Sunrmoon. This is a company that's making a really big name for themselves because of their 3D printed technology. So if we look at their clasp here, it's extremely high quality, but also inside this, you can see there's a really nice 3D printed mesh which protects the head. Comes with MIPS, and 这个多少钱？
这个是899。
899, so about 90 pounds. Highly tested, and in my opinion, quite good looking. All right, so the next brand is DYN. As mentioned before, both of the brands come with MIPS. Both of these helmets are different price. So Shang just told us that this one is about 35 pounds and this is about 55 pounds. The major difference, he said that Chinese heads are smaller than European heads. Is that correct, Shang? 头的大小不一样，欧洲人的和中国人的。
Sunrmoon 做的可能更符合欧洲人头型一点。
Okay.
DYN 更偏向于亚洲人。
Okay. So he said because of the slightly larger head dynamic, DYN does two different sizes, one more tailored towards European heads and one more towards Chinese fitting. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So Shang and I walked around the shop and I picked out some things that I think that we would be pleasantly surprised about if we were in Europe and we came across these things. So let's take a look at them one by one. All right, so to begin with, we came across this 3D printed cassette. Shang told me that it cost him around 60 RMB to make. They make it in a local area here. It weighs 65.6 grams. I don't know how much I would trust that, but that is something quite unique. So the next thing we came across are these Zuatu. Okay, so they are these carbon and titanium shoes which you put into an oven and then they mold around your foot. And Shang has told us that they cost 1,900 baht.
对，1900 baht.
So 1,980 RMB, which is probably close to about 210 pounds. And they feel really, really good quality. This dial, I'm not too... I would prefer the BOA dial, but actually it is a really nice shoe. So we just took a look at Sunrmoon's helmets, and they also make 3D printed saddles. So if we take a look at this one, right out of the box, you see this premium quality box with a warranty, and the saddle itself, it is extremely well made. I myself ride a 3D printed Italia saddle as well as a specialized Roman. So I have quite a bit of experience with 3D printed saddles, and this is, in my opinion, just as good. It is sturdy in regions that you would need it to be and more compliant in other regions. and I asked Shang about its price, and he told me 900 RMB, which is about 95 pounds. So in comparison to the big name brands, something very unique and good. If you would like for us to do a factory tour of Sunrmoon, please let us know in the comment section below. So the next thing we're going to take a look at is this seat post by Big Rock. So Shang, 为什么这个好？
这个坐杆首先它硬度很高，
Yeah.
在各种山地类型的赛事里，XC 赛等这种赛事里面特别常见。他们也是一个常驻的赞助商，所有车手基本都会选用他们这个东西。
It's extremely stiff and extremely light. Also used for mountain bikes. 这个多少钱？
这个是500左右。
500人民币。
对，500人民币。
Just a little bit over 500 RMB, so about 55, 60 pounds. The last super cool thing that I want to talk about today is this little contraption. So inside there is a SIM card, and you put this onto your jersey like so. And when you're riding, it's a walkie-talkie, so you can talk to your teammates and tell them where you are if you get lost. And it has a unlimited distance, so you could be in another city and be able to talk to people. So this thing is really, really useful, especially if you're on loud group rides and you want to talk to somebody or relay a message. So, yeah. Shang, 这个多少钱？
这个送你3年会员，卖300块。
300 RMB, which is about 30 pounds for one. So everyone in your team, if they had it, then you could easily keep in contact. So this year when I went to England, I bought a gravel bike, and it had 40mm tires, so I wanted to change to 32mm tires. So I bought the GP Continental 5000s, and I was in shock at the price. I think they were like 80 or 90 pounds for one tire. In China, you can get that exact same tire for about 35, 40 pounds. So, which brought me to think that maybe these tires cost a little bit less here than they do wherever in the world you may be from. So let's find out. 这个Eagle F1 的 tire 是多少钱的？
店内售价是398，然后是包安装。
So if you order it, it's 398 RMB, which is about 42 pounds, I think. But I'll put up the prices. And then the next tire is this Maxxis training tire. Feels a bit heavy. 这个多少钱的？
这个是150。
150 RMB, which is about 16, 17 pounds. 还有这个 Grand Pro Race 的轮子 Continental 的是多少钱的？
这个是
200 RMB for this tire. So please, in the comment section below, let us know how much these tires are in whichever country you're from, and if you find this to be good value for money. Alright, so Shang, 谢谢你给我们你的时间，还有今天的东西特别好玩。
OK， 今天东西很多其实。
So that's all we have time for today. If you want to see Shang again, if you want to learn more about these kind of small products that maybe you haven't come across or are intrigued about the prices here, please let us know in the comment section below. See you next time. Bye.